Talking shit.
Welcome to Talking Shit, a brand new sports show presented by Sports Interaction, where we dive into the world of sports and talk about anything and everything except the actual games. I am your host, Prince Huda, and I'm joined by an all-star cast here to my right, Sarah. Sarah, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It's the holidays.
I know. I
You're
got
dressed?
the festive. I'm ready to go. I'm excited.
I love that.
Yeah. It's a bit small. It's a bit tight because
Yeah,
I got
see,
this a few years ago. But, you know, I mean, that's a good thing, right? You know, you don't want it to be loose. You want it to be tight, right?
Is it a good thing?
Well,
If
I
your
mean, it
clothes
depends.
are
It
tight, what
depends
does
how
that
big of a
mean?
guy you are, I guess. But anyways, also joining us remotely in the festive spirit as well, Johnny G. Johnny, how are you doing?
Doing good. I mean, it's almost Christmas. If listeners celebrate that, I'm fired up for it, man. Obviously, no work for the next 4 or 5 days, so I'm buzzing. I'm feeling great.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the holidays, it's like whether you celebrate Christmas or not, just a great time of year to just relax, unwind, kind of reflect on how good the year's been, kind of what you have going on and what you have going into next year. So I love this time of year.
That's good.
You don't like this time of year?
I hate winter, so I'm like, we're in the winter solstice tonight. It is the longest night of the year, folks. She's tired. She's already ready for summer. But listen, it's not a perfect world.
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of just used to it living in Canada where it's like you just expect this, December, January, February, March, you just know it's just brutal. But then April kind of, yeah.
October, September sometimes.
We had a good fall, I feel like.
We had a good fall because we had a terrible summer.
Yeah.
We had the rainiest, coldest summer ever. So they were trying to make up for it maybe, but it was horrible.
I feel like the summer was hot as shit all the time. I remember going to Jays games.
There were some days, like you said,
we had
hot.
4 days that were maybe like plus 33, and then that was it. Guys, this was one of the worst summers ever.
See, the thing is, I hate when it's really, really hot because then I wish it's winter, and then I also hate when it's really, really cold. Like I like probably September is the best month in my opinion for weather because it's not too hot, not too cold, and you can get away wearing like a short sleeve shirt with jeans and you don't feel like uncomfortable.
Interesting.
That's fair. So I'm guessing, Sarah, you're not a proponent of a white Christmas.
Oh my God, no. When it was like 12 degrees last week, I was like, let's go, baby. Spring is coming. No, I don't care about a white Christmas because I think people that want that, they don't realize that like we still have 3 solid months of winter that come after that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. You guys want that stereotypical Christmas, but guys, the longer we push it off, hopefully, the shorter the winter will be. I don't know, man. I'm here for no snow either because you can't wear cute shoes when it snows.
Yeah, and then you have the salt on the ground, stains everything. Ridiculous. But pros and cons, I guess.
The slush is the worst.
Slush is gross. The dirt.
Push back slush them as long as humanly possible, or maybe it doesn't happen, which is obviously not going to happen. But I hate slush. I think slush is the worst thing possible. And you obviously experience that the most in Toronto.
It will snow, like that one coat will come down. It'll be nice for like 10 hours if it's overnight. And then by the next afternoon, it's just gray and dirt and gross. And it's not cute.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, that and like the black ice where you're walking, you don't see the ice.
I slipped yesterday.
I've had some slips. Oh, you had slipped on what yesterday?
I slipped on black ice.
Oh, was it that cold yesterday?
It's freezing today too.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, let's talk some sports.
Yeah, well, holiday season is upon us. It's cold. Sarah doesn't like it. I don't think anyone really likes the cold, but what I do like about this time of year is the sports cycle. You got the NBA, huge Christmas Day, World Juniors Boxing Day. You got, the NCAA championships on New Year's Eve. I just want to ask you guys, like, do you change your sports watching habits at this time of year? Like, I know soccer Champions League's on a bit of a break right now, but do you guys, tune into these holiday themed sporting events, or is it kind of just background when you have people over, that kind of thing?
Literally part of my Christmas tradition is Premier League Boxing Day because by that point, I'm so Christmased out. I've usually eaten too much, probably drank too much, and I'm exhausted. So Boxing Day is a day every year where I'm lying on the couch and watching hours of Premier League football. And this year we have a game on Christmas Eve too. I can't wait.
I don't really count that though. It's not like 8 a.m.
I'll be up Christmas Eve.
So
I'm not going to be doing anything yet. Yeah, I'm still going to watch it. I love that the Premier League continues because we don't have that lull like you mentioned in Champions League or La Liga or Serie A, whatever you follow. Like it feels like it's part of, for me, the Christmas tradition to watch Champions League on Boxing Day. And I will say NBA Christmas Day is also like, that's what's on. That is for sure.
Yeah, it's just in the background, right? Whether you're watching it or you're have people over, it's just background fodder, which I do like. I know, Johnny, I know you're not a big NBA guy, but do you tune in on Christmas?
Yeah,
is there anything that entices you?
I'll bet an over.
Okay,
I'll take an over if I'm watching it. Yeah, I know the games this year. We talked about it at work. I know there's some pretty good games this year on Christmas Day, so I'll be locked into that. But in terms of like just watching stuff during the holidays, like obviously the college football playoff and all the bowl games, I'll be watching all those, as well as like the Premier League and stuff like that. But I'm not really a big NBA guy, so like the Christmas Day games don't really do anything for me besides the fact that I might bet on them with my brother or something like that because we're watching them at home. But yeah, I couldn't care less about that. Other than that, though, I will be watching the other sports for sure.
Yeah, I think World Juniors is another one that I'm really looking forward to. I think what everyone's saying is this year Canada has some strong competition in the US. So I know we talked about Canada just always kind of runs through. And it seems like there is a bit of a challenge there. So I'm excited for that. Boxing Day. NFL, this is probably the best time of year when the games get to, the end of the season, playoff implications. We had our Super Bowl picks last week. NFL, this is like really the time of year where the, guys that are going for certain stat metrics or certain individual awards and playoff seedings happen. So, it's a great time of year for sports fans and a great time of year for people in general.
It's crunch time, baby.
Yeah, crunch
time.
There's
a really good game. There's one good game on Christmas Day. The rest of them are dog shit.
What are we talking?
For which sport? NFL?
No, for football.
Football, yeah.
Niners, Ravens.
Yeah. That'll be a big game.
That's like one of the best games this year. That's like pretty much Super Bowl preview. So that's going to be sick on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. There's a couple games on Christmas. Have they done that before? I feel like the NBA is always just occupied Christmas Day. I've never seen the NFL.
NFL started a couple games last year.
Oh, okay, they did. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's funny. Like you feel bad for these athletes because it's like they don't get to go home.
I don't feel bad for them at all.
You don't?
What do you mean? Feel bad?
They don't get to be with their families,
complete their dreams, get paid all this money, compete on Christmas Day. What do you mean? I would love to do. I would love to do that instead. Yeah, of course.
That's bad though. Like unless you get the 8:00 game. If you get the 8:00 game, you get fucked because you have to prepare all day. You can't eat. Like if you have the early 1:30 game, you just play and then you're done at 4:30. Then
you're home.
Go home, eat your turkey or whatever you eat.
Like 8:30 is the worst. Like the late game, the Ravens, Niners, like those people can't spend time with their families. Obviously, they have to prepare all day. But the other guys are kind of chilling.
It's also though like, okay, so you have to shift your Christmas to Boxing Day. Whoa, crazy.
Well, you just someone in the family's planning something, and Mahomes can't make it because he's playing on Christmas Day.
The all-star athlete. I think that's who gets, the attention, in my opinion.
But I guess if you're hosting, it's like, hey, we're Christmas, we have a big game, playoff implications. But
okay, fly Tuesday, me out the next day. No big deal. All right, I'll be on the chat. Fine.
Oh, sympathy. Not all. I mean, what about there's not a lot of guys that are making all that money.
No, for sure. I don't think it's about sympathy though. I think they're just like what they're doing is like the dream, right? Like that's so sick. So yeah, like it's Christmas, but also think about like how many, families that are together are going to be watching them and they know that like that's a part of like other people's Christmas tradition. Like I don't think it's as deep as it is. I think it's like a great experience and it's fun for them. And the NFL, like the NBA, I know they like turn it all up. There's like themes and like they make it a little special and stuff. Like you definitely feel like it's like an exciting game.
Would you guys ever go to a game on Christmas? Like I'm thinking about them filling all these stadiums. Like imagine, your family Christmas party of however many people are showing up to like a Knicks game or a Chiefs game or something.
Fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just sitting at home. Way better than sitting at home.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard because I would like comparing it to like soccer. Like we're Boxing Day kind of people, but like if there was like a massive soccer game on Christmas Day, I'd absolutely go. It'd be the Christmas miracle.
Yeah, but then your Christmas meal. Like no turkey, no stuffing, all that. You get like chicken tater tots or something like that.
This is maybe not actually a surprise because of who I am, but I hate Christmas food. Like I hate that traditional turkey stuffing, potatoes, whatever. Like it makes me feel so lethargic. It's not like the best tasting. Like some people, like I think it's like more a nostalgia thing because people like associate it. They're like, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, it's the best time, but not my kind of food. Would rather a really good bowl of pasta, like authentic Italian pasta. I'll take that over the rest of that any other day. It's not my thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
John, are you a Christmas food connoisseur?
Oh, not really. I mean, I don't really care for it. I mean, if I didn't have turkey for Christmas, I wouldn't care. Like I'm gonna start a tradition. I think I'm gonna be a sushi guy on Christmas. I think I'm gonna start.
That's different.
Christmas. Yeah. That's gonna be the move. But yeah, I don't care for it. Obviously, being Italian, we have a lot of traditions and stuff like that. So got to kind of stay with that. But I wouldn't care for it if we didn't do it. Like I wouldn't be like.
So do you guys do turkey? Even though you're Italian, you don't do like the roast beef or whatever?
We do all that stuff. Like there's just
everything. You guys have like 7 meals. They start with Cutlets, the pasta. Yeah. Oh my God.
Tommy cutlets. Yeah.
Tommy cutlets. The onion and lemon salad. Oh, see, that to me sounds already way better because there's that twist. The generic like Thanksgiving Christmas food is nah.
Well, it's like reserved for twice a year. Like turkey is like Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like you're not eating turkey in like July.
Yeah.
You know?
Can you imagine? Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I can't.
All right. What else we got going on?
I did want to talk about the Champions League. I know we discussed it a bit last week, but we were waiting till the draw. So you guys have seen the draw. I was looking at the odds today on Sports Interaction. They're pretty similar to where we were last week. Johnny had a call out on Arsenal. I think they were plus 700 last week. They've now moved to plus 600. Man City, the favorite, at plus 200. Bayern Munich plus 400. Just kind of based on how the draw played out, you know, you guys gave some great insights last week. Anything changed or anything you didn't get to last week that you want to talk about when it comes to Champions League draw and who's taking it all?
I think it's crazy that Arsenal went from plus 700 to plus 600 and they're facing Porto. Like Johnny, like the Arsenal are a better team than Porto right now, but Porto are not a easy team. Like that's going to be difficult for them, I think, especially at the Stadio de Dragão in Porto. Like that is tough. That is a fortress. So to me, I'm actually a bit shocked that the odds were leaning more in Arsenal's favor after this draw, because that's maybe one of the more interesting games. I will say this Champions League draw like was very, very mid. Like we don't have a lot of very spicy matchups.
Oh.
There's no like blue bloods facing each other. Like two.
I think Napoli and Barca is the biggest match.
Well, yeah, Napoli's gonna wax Barca. I think.
I don't even think so because Napoli have been so disappointing this year. I think this could be a fantastic game, but both of these teams are underperforming to another level. Like Napoli's actually in a very similar position as Barca. They also just have their new coach in. So how is he going to be doing? Like Mazzarri, we don't know if he's going to be fully adjusted. And also, we have to remember AFCON is going to affect all these games.
Yeah, that's true. I just think, Napoli has a striker. Barcelona is like insufferable.
We're going to have Vitor Roque from Brazil, who's going to be pushing out Lewandowski.
I think you can rule out Real Madrid winning the Champions League. I know that's crazy to say. Their entire team is fucking injured. Like, literally, their entire team is injured. So, they're
still getting the job done.
They have the third highest odds to win. Dude, believe it or not. They're still
getting the job done.
Yeah,
that's
they're gonna get Veron. I don't know how to pronounce it. Veron back or whatever. He'll probably sign because Manchester United's in debt, so they're gonna have to sell him. But I don't think Real Madrid. I mean, today they barely won. After they had a red card today.
Dude, they had a red card and they came back and won against Alaves. So like that, I feel they have the fight. Barca doesn't have that, you know? So to me, I'm still like, I don't know if you can rule them out.
They still got Vinicius. They still got Rodrigo. They still got Jude Bellingham. So, you can't really rule them out, but they don't have anyone in midfield. I think one of their midfielders got a red today. So their next game, they only have Rudiger.
No, Nacho plays in the back. He's right back.
Did you say Nacho?
Yes.
His name's Nacho?
Yeah, he's Spanish.
That's awesome.
But yeah, obviously, Man City has the easiest fucking draw of all time again. They face Copenhagen. That's not even going to be remotely close. They're going to win by 1 million.
I don't know, man. I think you're overlooking Copenhagen. I think Man City is just way better, but Copenhagen played really well in the group stage. I don't know. I'm curious to see. I love Real Sociedad and PSG. I think Sociedad wins that. I really hope so. But what you're asking, AFCON is basically like the Euros, but in Africa. Like every continent has their own tournament.
Okay.
So in February, all the African players that are playing for their nations are gonna have to travel home for a month. So they're gonna miss all their club and Champions League games if they're there. So yeah, we have to remember that.
That's not cool.
Many teams rather are gonna be missing a bunch of players. Yeah. It gets interesting though.
Yeah. So like if your team's like heavy African, like you take a huge effect, but that's not cool.
Remember what was it a couple of years back when Liverpool had Salah and Sané and they both had to go home because they're, Egyptian and Senegalese, and Liverpool was like, oh Jesus, our two best players are gone for a month. Yeah, it's crazy.
No,
it's crazy.
That's not fair.
Crazy. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I guess like they can do whatever they want, right?
I mean, like a lot of them are super proud to rep their country. So I mean, if you win it, it's a big.
I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I like the PSG Sociedad is going to be a really good knockout stage. The rest of them, like,
yeah, they're mid. But you know what that means is that the next round, like the quarters, could be fucking peak. Like they could be like all the big dogs got it. Like no, it kind of worked out. And this is like a really like blunt way of saying it, but no small teams are facing small teams and big teams are really facing big teams, maybe beside like Inter and Atleti and Barca and Napoli. So if the big teams go through, it's like you got every match in the quarters is going to be insane.
It sucks we have to wait till February though, but whatever. That's so fucking long.
There's a bit of a
time
gap,
flies. There's like the way time moves, it will blink and we'll be there.
That's after we have to wait till after the Super Bowl. Like that's how long we have to wait. Like that's when
guys, time moves
that
so
time's
fast.
Gonna fly though. That's the thing.
Yeah, like how are we at the end of 2023? I don't even know what I did this year. Like it's crazy. No, I think it'll go by fast.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts. Can we get some predictions on who's taking it all, regardless of odds? If you had to pick one team based on the draw.
Go for it, Johnny.
Based on what you know, who is
Arsenal,
winning?
Man, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I love the show.
Team they root for that they're not actually fans of, and that's Arsenal for me. I don't know what it is.
I love that. It'd be so fun if they won.
I feel like because maybe they're like a banter club. I mean, they do get bantered pretty. I mean, them and Tottenham get bantered a pretty decent amount. But I do like Arsenal. I love Saka. He's probably my favorite player in the world. So yeah, I'm still riding with Arsenal, to be honest.
Okay, Sarah.
You know what I'm gonna say, because Johnny said that Real aren't gonna do it. I honestly think Real have a really good chance. There's something about City this year that they're so good, but the back-to-back is so hard to complete, and they're not really doing well in the Premier League. So I think at one point they're gonna have to make a decision. They're gonna choose the Prem over Champions League. Where Real, they're doing well in La Liga. They know how to win this tournament. They know how to play. Just they need one good game of football. Like I think they still have a chance. So Endrick's also going to be there too, the other young Brazilian. So we'll see. He's going to be a little fireball. There you go. Pains me to say it, but we'll see.
There we go. I'll be the square. I'll take Man City. I'll take Man City. Favorite, whatever. They won last year. Don't know too much. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we have a great tournament, but I'll just take the favorite here blindly.
I mean, Kevin De Bruyne's coming back, and so
that's a crazy one. He's back in training actually as of this week. So.
Yeah, so I mean that is a good pick. I mean,
okay,
yeah,
all right, I like.
We'll give it to him.
I like that. All right, I knew that. That's why I picked him. But that's awesome. So Champions League, on the horizons for 2024. But before we get there, I did want to talk about some year-end, awards. I guess we don't have trophies, we don't have stuff to give away, but I do kind of want to get you guys' thoughts. We talked about best sports moment of the year. I want to dive into that a little bit more with some other, awards, if you guys are cool with that. So I want to start with, on a personal level, and even maybe on a viewership level, of what you guys think was the best game of the year. Johnny, if you want to start.
Honestly, that Super Bowl fucking rocked. I know we keep talking about like moment of the year, but that Super Bowl game was electric. Eagles had not a massive lead, but a decent lead at halftime. Patrick Mahomes storms back. A very shady, weird pass interference holding call at the end of the game to kind of put them into touchdown or field goal or touchdown range. That game rocked. I mean, there's a lot of points. Super Bowls with a lot of points that are very offensive friendly are my favorite type of Super Bowls, obviously. So I would honestly say the Super Bowl, man. That game was incredible. I know it was 11 months ago, but yeah, that was my favorite game of the year.
Yeah, that counts. I was gonna say that one too, and it's also cool because with that Super Bowl, all the star players played like stars. AJ Brown scored, Jalen Hurts scored, Travis Kelce scored. So even if you're a gambler and you probably hammered all these popular players for anytime touchdowns or props, everything hit. So as a gambler, I mean, personally, I took the Eagles and I lost a bit of money on them. But for the props, at least it was a good night. So I love that pick. Personally, I'll take another football game, the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Chargers, the wild card game. For those who don't remember, that was like January, I think, so a while ago too. The Chargers were up 27-0 at halftime and lost the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was so awesome. I was watching with my buddies. We all live bet the Jags at halftime. So we were cheering for Trevor Lawrence. To see, a guy that young in a franchise like Jacksonville who hasn't had much success in the last, 5-6 years, come back, win that playoff game. That was electric. One of the biggest comebacks in playoff history. Definitely the Super Bowl for me would put up there, but I put that Jacksonville game right behind it.
I love that.
Yeah. And you win money, right? Any game you win money, you're gonna remember it. You're gonna like.
For
So.
sure.
Sarah, what do you got?
I'm honestly like going through games right now on my phone because I think with soccer it's so difficult because like we've had so many more than like every other sport.
Yeah.
So you start going back. I think like one that like for sure has to come up is the Women's World Cup final, Spain beating England. For me personally, that was massive.
Mm-hmm.
Love seeing them win that trophy. They were the better team for sure, but England and Spain were both absolutely fantastic. I thought it was a great final. And also another personal one, Man City beating Real Madrid in the Champions League 4-0. Yeah. Slapping it, giving it to them on a platter because as a Barca fan, we like to see them suffer. But I think it was just a show of dominance of how this is Real Madrid's tournament. The first leg of the game was 1-1. And then City in the second leg was like, we got to turn it on and absolutely smash them. Like, it's not something you usually see with this team. So it was really just like, wow, this City team is something else. And they went on to win everything. So definitely like a really memorable part of football for sure. But yeah, the women's World Cup final would be my number one. I loved it.
That's awesome. We all took football, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some way. Well, that's a fun one. I think the next one I'd love is your most surprising team or player of the year. So whether it's, a single player or a single team that really shocked the world and shocked everyone, I'd love to know what you guys think for that award.
Okay, I'll start, and it's going to be of recent months, but it's got to be Jude Bellingham at Real Madrid. This kid is crazy. I have never seen a footballer go to another team and mesh with that team so well, have the ability to create and score goals the way he is. He is so Real Madrid are literally leaning on this guy right now. If he wasn't there, I don't know how they'd be doing, but he's doing so well. And I think he has to be one of the most impressive players for sure, like this year. And even though he only started with them at like August, actually, yeah, it's been insane.
How old is he?
What is he? 23? Do you know that, Johnny? I think he's 23.
Yeah, he's 23.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
Wow.
Like, it's insane. I definitely was super surprised because not that I didn't know what he was able to do. Like, he was amazing at Borussia Dortmund. He almost won the Bundesliga with them last year. He's 20?
Yeah, he's born in 2003. He's 20.
Oh my God.
I'm aging him for my own sake.
20 years old. That's crazy.
But yeah, no, it was super surprising. Like, you just don't see it happen. Like,
No.
I mean, I don't know if Johnny can speak on that too, but it's surprising and in a great sense for him. But no one thought he was going to do what he did, what he's been doing.
He was insane at Dortmund, so I obviously no one expected to this magnitude at Real.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But yeah. No, yeah. He's insane. He's probably he's probably the best. He's probably in the best form in the world right now. Him or Martinez on Inter, because that guy has a million goals in City. For me, it's probably, this is biased. He's a friend of mine, but it's when Davis Schneider on the Blue Jays, literally a 40th round or 27th round draft pick gets called up, makes history, like breaks every single Major League Baseball rookie record after 20 games, like the first 20 games. Came from nothing, was going to quit baseball after A-ball. His buddy talked him into staying into baseball, and then gets called up to the Blue Jays and just is like wins player of the week, wins rookie of the week, and literally breaks records that are like 90 years old. So I'd probably say Davis Schneider coming up with the Blue Jays, probably like the surprise player of the year for me.
You mentioned your friend Davis Schneider. What's the history there?
No, he just heard about Gate 14 and just followed us, and then we've just been DMing. And I brought him out to Paris, Texas. I think I took him to Paris, Texas, and I want to say August. He's my boy now. So yeah, he's
We're still waiting for you to take us to Paris, Texas, Johnny.
Talking shit
Sorry, we're not
appearance
big time baseball
Paris,
players.
Texas.
Yeah, no, that was awesome, man. It was just me and all my buddies, and then Davis Schneider came out with us. And we also had a couple of other Jays guys come out with us there a couple weeks after that. But yeah, no, he's definitely the surprise player of the year for me. Obviously, being a baseball guy.
Sorry, can I add before you add yours?
Yeah,
like neither of us said this, but can we talk about Erling Haaland and what he did in the Premier League? That was his first full season with Man City, and he scored 36 goals, 51 in total with Champions League, FA Cup, EFL. Like, I think it's crazy that we all just slept on that. He was maybe the most surprising player in like all of sport. I mean, up there. Like, no one thought this guy was gonna come from Dortmund as well and snap out of control. Like, he didn't just he broke records like almost every match. Like, it was crazy. Wow, I
he,
actually
like,
slept for a minute there, Johnny. I've completely forgot
I'm
about
a
Holland.
KDB merchant.
I think so too. Listen. Yes, but he still got the goals. Like, you
Yeah,
can't,
that's
like,
true.
a
I think
tap in is a tap in
I
is a
just like
tap in. But if
he doesn't score. I know his job isn't to score like bangers, like Ronaldo free kicks and stuff like that. It's just like his goals are just like boring.
yeah, they're tap ins, but
Yeah, they're
he's
just
still
like he's a
scoring. They're
tap in
crossing the
merchant.
line. He's broken the record in the Prem. Like, thing is, like, you don't have to like it because I don't really like it either, but he's still doing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are you gonna go with?
there's a lot to choose from. Like, I think I'll probably take a team and maybe one player on it. The Florida Panthers of the NHL. They were a team that snuck into the NHL playoffs this year. They were a wild card. They made it in on the last game of the season, first round of the playoffs. They upset Boston, who was first in the league. Then the second round, they destroyed Toronto, which personally sucked. And then Carolina, the next round, they swept them. And they made the cup final, which you don't see a lot in sports where you have a team that literally on the last day of the season, had they lost the game, they wouldn't even make playoffs. And they almost won the championship. So Matthew Tkachuk leading that team. He had a couple OT winners. He was their leading scorer. He really became bigger than the NHL. He was on the inside the NBA TNT broadcast. His name was being talked about everywhere. So as much as I hate giving the Florida Panthers props, and I think their run, was a bit of a Cinderella story, may never happen again, I'll give the Florida Panthers credit as they were probably, to me, the most surprising team of the year.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I fucking hate them, but yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to, as a Toronto, it's just like, fuck Florida, and
I
like,
feel like you guys hate a lot of people as Leafs fans.
Well,
Like,
Florida,
I've heard
like,
you guys say we don't like Ottawa, we don't like Boston, we don't like Montreal.
we don't think about those. We don't think about Ottawa or Montreal. Boston, I would say, is probably the biggest rival because they just kick our ass every year. And then Florida now is becoming like that playoff rivalry. And then Tampa, but we beat them. So I guess there's no more rivalry there. But I don't know. Leaf fans, like you said, there's a lot of enemies.
You guys literally hate everyone. Like, you name like 6 teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, they haven't won in, 50, 60 years. There's a lot of enemies. A lot of enemies on that team.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's fair. I do, moving on, we had the most surprising team player of the year. How about the upset of the year? Who was the biggest disappointment to you as a player, as a team, someone who fell off, or a team that fell off that you really didn't expect to see happen in 2023?
Barcelona.
Vladdy. I mean,
okay.
Vladdy was like dog shit this year. He had like a 1.1 WAR, which is absolutely fucking terrible. Like bottom like 10% of the league. Vladdy was easily the most disappointing player of the year. Didn't hit a lot of home runs, grounded into a shit ton of double plays, only hit like 25 home runs, which is terrible. Vladdy is just the clear-cut first overall pick for the most disappointing player on the Toronto Blue Jays, and honestly in Toronto sports, like just was just terrible all year.
Wow.
Jeez.
Sounded personal a little bit, honestly.
I have to stream every single game and watch him, so like do live streams. So yeah, he's fucking he was terrible to watch all year. Everyone hates him.
So is that it? Like, do you think he turns it around this season, or is it we've seen it and now it's going down?
I don't know. He's really skinny now. He lost a shit ton of weight, but I don't know if that's going to result in him being.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but he was honestly embarrassing to watch this year. So yeah, that was easily like first thing that come to mind, like the most embarrassing or the most disappointing player for me.
Okay, Sarah, what say you?
I'll go with a team that leads into a player, and I'll say the Brazil national team. After the World Cup last year, at the end of last year, the way Brazil have played since, they went like 4 games back to back at home in the Copa America World Cup qualifiers for the next World Cup without a win, which is unheard of in Brazil. Losing to Argentina like that, it's embarrassing. And that kind of translates to Neymar, who again got injured. He came back from injury in July, got injured in September, had to undergo surgery, and now he's missing the Copa America in June next year. It's a sick cycle for this guy, but it's such a disappointing player when it comes to football, because he was going to be the guy after Messi and Ronaldo. He was going to be the guy, but he can't stay fit. And it's so sad. It's so sad. But yeah, Brazil looking really bad too. So I don't know what the heck is going on there, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, they were so easy to bet against in the World Cup. They honestly just like they just weren't in form. Yeah, they did not look good at all. Easy.
They didn't look good at all. They didn't know who their striker should be. Like, there were so many weird decisions by the coach too. Like, I don't really know, but I mean, the idea is what Ancelotti's going to be there in June.
That would be sick, actually, but I don't know if he will. But
Yeah, I don't know either. What is he going to do? Potentially play a Champions League final with Real Madrid and then go the next day to Brazil to play in a Copa America tournament? No way. No way.
Yeah, I don't think there's any money. I mean, the Napoli coach technically did that. Yeah, he technically did that right after he won the Scudetto. But yeah, I don't know. That'd be crazy though. That'd be insane.
Yeah, Sampaoli. Yeah. What's your?
This is another tough one. I'm thinking, probably the New York Jets. Like, if you remember, like when Aaron Rodgers got traded to the Jets, it was like Super Bowl, it was playoffs,
How many games did he play?
He played, I think, 2 minutes of one game.
That's so wild.
Right?
Yeah,
2 minutes.
That was wild.
So like everyone had the Jets.
Drive.
Oh,
he played one drive.
One drive.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So everyone had the Jets pegged as a Super Bowl contender. Aaron Rodgers, MVP. This is his, Brady moving to the Buccaneers. This is his chance to prove he can win a ring with a new team. And then what? 2 plays in, snaps his Achilles, and they're done. And it wasn't even like, okay, the Jets are kind of a good team. They just need a quarterback. They've been terrible this year. I mean, they've gone through the quarterback carousel. 3 different guys have started. They're all terrible. Aaron Rodgers, who, probably one of the most popular faces of the NFL, who probably sold a lot of tickets, a lot of season ticket holders, a lot of jerseys, a lot of merchandise. A lot of people became Jets fans because he came there, and to then have to sit through the team that they witnessed this season. I don't think there's a more bigger disappointment than the New York Jets. A lot of it because they can't control it. Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. But then you think about what they've done since then to kind of capitalize on that hype. Nothing. So New York Jets, definitely the most disappointing team of the year.
That was crazy for sure.
Yeah. Like you think about, the joke of the NFL being scripted, being a TV show. Like imagine your favorite TV show, the first episode of the season, you're so hyped, you're watching the episode and they kill off your favorite character.
Game of Thrones.
The first 5 minutes.
Game of Thrones every season. Every time. By the end of it, you just like become numb to death because you're just like, they're all going to die.
Yeah, you just keep watching. Like it's the same with the NFL. Like every week, some star player gets hurt, but it's like you're just going to keep watching because it's like you're just numb to it.
Yeah, same with football.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I guess, Johnny, same with you with watching Guerrero. Like you just became numb to his inefficiencies on the field.
You just knew what was going to happen before every single at bat. Yeah, it's
tough. The worst. That's the worst when you already are like, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pain. Are you like heckling him? Like, are you tweeting at him? Were you voicing your displeasure? What kind of?
I don't know. It's just like I just tweet stats that show why he was so shit last year. That's been like my shtick this offseason. But yeah, I mean he's still like, if you look at his 2021 season, he was runner up for the MVP, hit like 30 or 40 something home runs, I think, or 38 home runs. Guy was like the best hitter on the planet, not named Shohei Ohtani. So yeah, it's just wild the fall off from this guy the year after and the year after that. So it's been bad, really bad.
Well, I guess like he can only go up from here, right? Like I mean, knock on wood, he can't have a worse year than he did last year, right?
He for sure could. He could get injured in the first game and be out for the whole season.
Yeah, that's man. Like if you're a Jets fan, if you're an Aaron, like I think for me that was also the worst moment in sports of the year. Like because I remember like, Aaron Rodgers, Jets, Bills, and like snaps his Achilles. He's like, all right, that's it. Like never gonna care about this team again. Never gonna watch this team. Like it just sucked. Like if you're a diehard fan of the Jets, and I don't know how many there are like season ticket holders, are like, this guy's gonna carry us to the promised land. Like it's a tough bounce, that I don't think there's a worse bounce in sports than that.
Yeah.
Well, the last one, more of a personal question, as all 3 of us are sports fans, I'd love to know, what was your favorite sporting or most memorable or favorite sporting event you attended live this year?
Oh, I already know. I was in Barcelona in September and I went to my first Champions League game. I've been to an El Clasico with Messi and Ronaldo. I've been to several Barcelona games. I've been to some other games in Europe, but I've never been to a Champions League game, and it was in Barcelona and we won 5-0 and it was freaking fantastic. Like hearing Johnny, the Champions League song, like live, I almost started crying. I was literally just like, best day of my life.
That's chills, man.
Yeah, dude, the Champions League song is the best song in all of sports. Like that song, like hits, like it's like emotional. It doesn't like get you going. It's like this is amazing. I'm gonna cry like the opera. Oh my god. So that for sure, live, different. It was different. It was amazing.
That's awesome. Johnny, what about you?
I actually, this sounds miserable. I actually don't think I have one.
He's like, well, the Jays games all sucked.
Yeah, I mean, this Jays team was like historically like one of the most boring teams in baseball. They had like one of the worst offenses, best pitching staff. So it was like really good defense and pitching and really bad hitting. I guess seeing like, yeah, again, going back to David Schneider. I mean, his first home run at the Rogers Center, maybe how crazy it was, like the fans and stuff like that. That would yeah, I truly don't. This is like, that's a terrible. I don't know. I truly went to like really any good.
Do you only go to baseball games this year? Did you see like any other sport?
Leafs, Raptors.
I probably went to like 40, 50 baseball games this year. I don't know. Like one of my best friends plays in the Phillies, and I went to go see him and stayed with him in Philadelphia for like 6 or 7 days, like maybe that. But yeah, there was really no good events I went to. Yeah.
Got to change that for 2024, Johnny.
Well, if hopefully the Jays go to a playoff game, then yeah, I mean, then that'll be on my list. But yeah, as of right now, I truly don't think there was any. Sounds sad, but yeah, there really wasn't.
That's awesome.
You have one. Surely.
I've been to a lot this year, and it's funny that my answer is probably
Is it TFC?
No, it wasn't TFC. I went to a soccer game in Portugal. It was the Euro qualifiers. Portugal versus Iceland, or not Iceland, sorry, Bosnia versus Portugal. I went to Estadio de Luz. Yeah, de Luz. Yeah, so that was the first time I ever went to a soccer game outside North America. It was insane. It was insane.
That's Benfica Stadium. That's a great stadium.
It was
Why
so
are you only
much
telling
fun.
me this now?
That is a sick stadium.
That's a great stadium. And you got to see Cristiano.
I did.
You got to see Joao Felix, Joao Cancelo.
Sure, maybe I did.
Like, I don't know.
Maybe I did.
So the only one you knew going into that match was Cristiano.
And Bruno
Fernandes.
Yeah. So like so of course, you know, the gambler, I put a parlay Ronaldo to score and Portugal to win by 2 goals. Ronaldo had one of the most insane headers I've ever seen, and it was offside and it didn't count. But like, he's literally like God in Portugal. Like every time he touched the ball, people were like, oh my God, like, oh my God. Like people were freaking out. Like we were too, but like not to that level.
Football's different.
But man, the crowd there, the atmosphere, like people were just on the whole game. Like nobody was quiet. People were standing. There were flares. It was definitely a cultural experience that I'll never forget. And to me, you know, seeing a team that, you know, I've never seen before, I don't know a lot about, but you know, Ronaldo, a guy that caliber, I mean, that was fucking insane.
It's kind of crazy that you're like the least knowledgeable about football, and you've been to you've seen Cristiano Ronaldo play.
I know,
even
it's crazy.
Big football fans like don't get that opportunity.
That's crazy. I told a lot of my friends watch soccer. I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna go see Ronaldo. They're like, what? I was like, yeah, like, you know, that was the game. Do you guys remember that pitch invader ran on the field and hugged him and picked him up?
Like every other game with these two.
Well, it was weird because like
every game, and I don't know how more people don't do it because they usually are allowed to take the selfie with the player. Like I saw
the players let them. They're like, if you came this far, we'll allow it.
They were so polite about it. Like they didn't tackle him to the ground, handcuff him, throw him. They just grabbed him and walked him out.
They don't want to hurt anyone. No. They literally just, like Johnny said, they want a selfie with the players. So the players know that. And also, this is the last time that person will ever be in the stadium because you get a lifetime stadium bin, you get fined, might get like arrested as well. So like they're like, well, it's gonna go downhill from here. At least you can make the background on your phone, you and Cristiano Ronaldo.
I was close to running on and hugging him because it was like 3 people did it and no one got. I was like, I guess because I was international, but part of me I was like,
you wouldn't be able to travel, but
yeah, I'd probably still be in a Portuguese jail cell. But that was for me the most fun sporting event of the year. And it's funny, I'm not even a soccer fan, let's say. Not yet, we'll say, but to me, like that was unbelievable.
I love that. I love that you, even not as a football fan, know that like that was it. And that's what it does.
Oh, like those games live are just crazy. But yeah, it was a great time.
I want to go to a Premier League game so bad, man. Like
go. I haven't been to one.
I think I said this on here before. We talked about it on Gate 14, and I had like 15 listeners that I had no idea like we have a listener base in England. Like 15 listeners reached out to us, like come to Anfield, come to Emirates, come to Tottenham Stadium. Like everyone reached out to us. So
what would if you had like an ideal Premier League match to go see? Okay, first of all, what stadium and who's facing who? If it was like the perfect world and you could pick.
Honestly, I would want to go to Anfield. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but Anfield looks like an absolute.
Can you imagine Anfield against Manchester, like Liverpool against Manchester United?
Even honestly, like this Saturday, like
yeah,
or Liverpool versus Arsenal, like that game would be idiotic to go to.
That game would be amazing this year. But yeah, I think it depends on the year as well, because the Man U Liverpool game could have been a story again, and it was the worst game we saw last week.
Yeah, no, it would probably be Anfield, and then I would like to go. I think Villa has a historic stadium.
Villa Park.
Yeah, I'd probably want to go to Villa as well. There's a lot, to be honest. Like
there's so many. A lot of them are really like fortresses. They're historic. Yeah, for sure. I feel like Emirates would be really sick. I think Emirates would be a good time.
That's definitely on the bucket list for sure. But I'd love to go to England. Never been to the Europe before, so.
Oh my God, Johnny, we got to get you there.
Yeah. Well, I'll go for sure. Just like I gotta find time for it.
Yeah.
It might not be Paris, Texas quality, but Europe's.
It'll be
cool.
Paris quality.
Europe's pretty cool.
Damn sure.
Jesus.
Well, just to wrap up, we talked about our year-end 2023 award winners. So I do, I love the takes on here. I love getting these takes that we can, look back on in a few months or so and see what is one bold sports prediction of something that will happen or you want to see happen in 2024?
I think Brock Purdy is going to win the MVP. That's not really a hot take, but Brock Purdy is going to win the MVP in the NFL, and the social media is going to blow up with like the craziest fucking takes on the planet of like him not being deserving. Like he's like a Kyle Shanahan merchant, all that type of stuff. I'm looking forward to be honest, because I want to be partaking in that for the clicks. But yeah, I think Brock Purdy wins NFL MVP, and social media explodes in whenever they announce that.
Yeah, we had a pretty crazy take in here last week. I said, in the heat of the moment, I was mad about Brock Purdy being MVP. I said I would win a game in the 49ers offense.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
You actually might, to be honest, though.
Yes, thank you.
Johnny, don't do this. Johnny.
Justin said the same thing. So that's,
You might. I mean, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey.
Trent Williams.
Yeah, Trent Williams. You have literally every single, it's an all-star team. I don't know. You might be right. I'm not sure. You might be right.
Sean's pissed in the corner there. He's fuming at that one, but
yeah.
I understand. I mean, I think the shitstorm on Twitter for Brock Purdy winning MVP will be definitely electric. I'll go next. I think this is a bold prediction, but also on a personal level.
No.
I think we see Conor McGregor. You thought I was going to go with the Leafs, didn't you? No.
You're smarter than that.
No. I think my bold prediction, Conor McGregor will main event UFC 300. The return of the Notorious One. I think we've had a layoff for so long. McGregor was supposed to fight this year, and then it was the year before. But I think this is the year. Conor McGregor, main event UFC 300. Maybe he fights for the BMF title against Gaethje. Maybe he fights Chandler. But I believe Conor McGregor will be on the card of UFC 300. And how do you not put him in the main event?
Yeah, you got him because of his name, but I feel like he's gonna get absolutely mocked. This guy's he's not a fighter anymore. Look at him.
Yeah, but
he's a chunk. Like
he's been hitting the gym a little too much,
No, he's not though. That's the thing. Like he's a roly poly, and like he's not like. I don't think his technique is there anymore. He's been out of the game. I think he parties like a rock star. And listen, live your life, but I don't think him coming back is going to do any good for him personally. I think it's great for UFC because they want to make money.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's about it.
Similar to what Johnny said, like the shitstorm on social media and in real life. Like people will go nuts, especially if you put him in the main event. The amount of people that will be pissed off that it's not like another championship fighter or someone like that. But I'm ready for it. I love McGregor, and I'd love to see him at UFC 300. And again, if you're going to put Conor McGregor on the card, he's either opening the show or closing. So why not close the show?
Love it.
What about you?
I'm going to go personal. I'm going to go Argentina are going to win the Copa America. Messi will probably retire from the national team. And I hope it doesn't happen. But I think that's where this is going. And if we only get a couple more years with him, let's get him winning everything and playing the best football we've ever seen. Because, I mean, there's nothing better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just more personal for me. It's not really a crazy show. A crazy show would be like England's going to win the Euros, but they're not.
Put it out there.
I don't want to because they won't. It's not coming home, folks. I think the Euros will go to France this year, but we'll see.
Okay, there's a prediction right there. France for the Euros.
Well, no, Argentina winning the Copa was my prediction.
Well, you can do both. Nice
I
little
could do
parlay
both.
there.
I could do both.
Yeah.
Parlay it up. Johnny, any quick predictions on those two?
Yeah, England is so I don't get how they don't win.
They have
They
like
are
something.
insane.
Yeah, no, they are so good, honestly, and they're getting even better and better, but they're not going to win. I know it.
It would be kind of sick to see them win. Italy beat them last time, which again I don't know how, but yeah, England is literally on paper they're insane. Like Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, everyone, Phil Foden, they just have like
Kyle Saka,
and they don't win. Absolutely wild to me that they don't win. It's probably more frustrating than being like a Leafs fan because they are.
Oh, we always come back to that, eh?
They haven't won since '66, man. England hasn't won.
That's pretty. That sounds familiar.
It is. But they've actually been good and gone to finals.
Oh, okay. So.
And they've lost in PK. I don't know how.
Not even just finals, penalties. Yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, I don't know.
I don't care for Conor McGregor anymore, to be honest with you. His shtick is so annoying to me. He's like he gives me like Jake Paul vibes now, where I'm
so yucky.
That'd be a crazy fight. Now that you put it into the world.
Yeah, we'll see. I see it on Twitter. Everyone's saying that he's already 100% confirmed for UFC 300, but we'll see.
Nice.
Oh, we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I may or may not have read those earlier before this bold prediction, but it counts. It's bold. It's on the record. I thank you both for your time. I thank everyone for listening. Have a happy holidays. Enjoy the rest of your year and start off 2024 on the right note. This has been Talking Shit, and we will see you next week.
Talking Shit.